really it's up now. Now we popping bottles like the Super Bowl just touchdown. I just wish that you was with me. I lost a few brothers and now I'm empty.
Today on Chopping It Up, Rafa Blanco, we have season 10 finalist Noah Sims. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, buddy. Doing well.
I wanted to ask you, where did you grow up at?
North Georgia, Epworth, Georgia.
What kind of food did you eat growing up?
Everything. I was very, very blessed to have two parents that really didn't want us to just eat mundane stuff and let us try everything. So, raised on Southern food, biscuits and gravy and pot roast and things like that. But also my mom being a Texan, so we had carnitas and enchiladas and things like that.
Ooh, that sounds amazing right now.
Ridiculous. My mom's an outstanding cook.
So is that where you got your inspiration from? Your mom?
My mom and my grandmother. My mom was a substantially better cook than my grandmother. My grandmother could cook about one good thing, which was her chicken and dumplings. But my mom, she's outstanding.
That's great. I wanted to know, before you got onto MasterChef, like, were you cooking before then? Like, were you doing any personal chef?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I've been cooking since I was about 8 to 10 years old. So I've been cooking a long time. I don't look at myself at all as a world-class chef or a Michelin-starred chef. I definitely have I've done so many different jobs and careers and stuff, but always found very, very, a lot of love and care from cooking. So I've always been doing a ton of cooking. Always love bringing love and positivity to people, and food is a great vessel for that.
Yes, man, I'd be trying to tell people that all the time. That's probably the one reason I do cook, is because I want to see others happy. Like, seeing that joy from other people taste your food just fills you up with like happiness.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So getting on to MasterChef now, how did that go? Like, is like the timing the same? Like, you know how they say you got an hour to cook? Is it actually an hour, or do you guys get like, a little bit more time than that?
It depends on what the challenge is. Sometimes they would add a little bit of time. For the most part, I mean, it is what it exactly shows.
Okay, so like cookbooks or any of that?
We're not sitting there with a cookbook right next to us. No, not at all. No.
Okay, I was always wondering that. So
No.
So, like, do you guys get to like socialize with the chefs at all, or is it more so like business and then they just leave?
We do before the cooks and stuff, and then like top 10, we got to drink, champagne and eat with them a little bit and talk and hang out. I mean, it's pretty fantastic.
So, was your experience there fine? Like, would you do chef TV cooking again? Like, would you go the TV route ever again, or probably not? Would you recommend it to others?
I would if you do it, having a plan is the key. After I was on the show, I've never stopped. I've just kept building my brand, being able to travel around the world and help a bunch of people. And I've never really seen anyone that was like, man, I regret going on that show. I regret, I regret going to, the biggest cooking show on the planet and being on 180 cooking. Like, for someone, you'll hear a lot of people complain about like what happens there, which, I mean, you can be upset with some of the politics of it, but for the most part, for anybody that really has given a dang past just not having to work and just being like, oh, I'm on TV, I've made it. I didn't look at it at all like that. I looked at it as, this is a big, giant stepping stone. This is a huge opportunity for me to show the world what I'm about, who I am. MasterChef's the biggest cooking show on the planet, and it's aired 176 countries. So, like, when I was in India, people knew who the heck I was because it was airing during the time I was in India. So, like, for someone to say, man, I regret that, I think they'd be fools, or that they didn't capitalize enough on the opportunity at hand. which is what I did, and like a lot of other people did. Like one of my best buddies, my brother's Nick DiGiovanni. He's, I mean, one of the biggest food influencers on the planet right now. I mean, in the U.S., he probably is the number one. He was always this guy, except whenever he was on MasterChef, the spotlight was on top of him, which gave him the platform to be able to really take off. Mm-hmm. And now he's doing, of course, 100% him, nothing involving MasterChef. He just used it as a platform properly. No one's ever done it better than him. So for somebody to say, oh man, I regret this, that, this. You hear a lot of people complaining about, I wish I'd have gotten 15. I wish I'd have gone further. I wish I'd have done this. I wish I'd have done that. Yeah. That still have almost no social impact, that don't go do charity, that don't actually have impact on their community, that they're just like, why wasn't this happening? So, I mean, it is what you make it. Social media now with the TV shows, that compounding effect is better than it ever has. Like season 1, MasterChef, those people compared to season 10, it's 10 years of technology. It's 10 years of social media development. So like season 10 people, they have the biggest giant, social media following by like a landslide. Like if you put season 10 following, given with Nick in there, but if you took the Instagram followers on season 10 comparative to season 1, I would say that there's probably, hundreds of thousands of difference in count, just because of, I believe, the time period of when someone watched that, not being able to tie it to social media, not being able to really catapult. Now, if you get on any type of cooking show, you should be able to use that as a keystone to be able to start building that arch of success.
Mm-hmm. So after MasterChef, we're going to speak after MasterChef. How was that India trip? Like, how did you and him combine to do you guys' thing in India?
So Suba invited me to go on like the greatest adventure of all time. I thought it would be. Went over to his hometown in Chennai, India. 10 minutes.
Was this after MasterChef? Like right
after MasterChef. This was January 2020.
Okay, before the pandemic and everything hit.
Yeah, this was right when we were recognizing the pandemic. I was posting about the pandemic in December 19. So when I was reading the reports and stuff about China and stuff, I was like, listen, I know the Chinese well. I've been to China. Like, if we're hearing this, it's exponentially worse than what they're stating, like substantially worse. So it's like we're pretty much screwed right now if this is what. And boy, howdy! I mean, they're posting, we're going to lose 250,000 people with this administration and all this stuff. This was in January. So going to India, I was like, I think we might be okay. Mm-hmm. We went to India, had the greatest trip and adventure of my lifetime. Had 206 different dishes. Went to the greatest restaurants in India, which are like the best restaurants on the planet, because if you had real Indian food, it blows the doors off of about any other type of cooking. And I've had cooking from around the world, and Indian food it's special. It's so special. I mean, and the way that they cook is just unbelievable.
Talking flavors like that, the flavor.
Yes, the balance of flavors, the techniques, the simplicity of certain things that have 4 or 5 ingredients, but it's the way that they cook it or bloom the spice. It's all encompassing.
So I've always had this theory that, do you think that Southern food can ever be a high-end dish? Like Southern cooking, do you think you can ever bring Southern cooking to the high-end market of cooking?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely. No. Yeah, absolutely.
I always thought
I do it all the time.
Comfort food. It's super hard, at least for me, to make comfort food like that. Like,
it all depends on it. It all depends on, like, okay, what would be the easiest example? Easiest example of comfort food would be macaroni and cheese. Well, I have thousands of dollars of truffles that get sent to me from my buddy Adrian from Romania and Italy that I don't pay for, that when I do a dinner party and I do this ridiculous truffle mac and cheese that in New York at like Per Se or something would be charging you $85 a serving for something about this big, and I'm giving you a cast iron lodge thing of Cavatelli pasta with mac and cheese and truffles and lemon pepper bacon and all this. Well, I could be pretentious and plate this like a sumbitch, but I could just serve it in this badass cast iron pan that is so super elevated because it has $500 worth of truffles shaved over the top with this ridiculous Mornay sauce, not this cream cheese cream and cheddar sauce, but an actual classic Mornay sauce. So you can elevate things. A great one that I do a lot of is doing a strawberry shortcake. I don't care who you are, what wealth you have. If you eat a strawberry shortcake and you plate it right and you can plate it fancy, you're going to be like, damn, this is delicious. You're not going to be like, well, this is a lower class peasant food, even though it's very cheap to make. You're going to eat this and be like, son, bitch, this just slapped the taste out of my mouth. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways, and definitely nowadays, there's a lot of ways where people, prime example. So like I could take my town is famous for how good the trout is. We're the trout capital of Georgia. Okay. I could take a ridiculous, like peasant, poor people food and sell it for probably $45 in a restaurant laying all day, where I could do a ham hock collard greens. And I would put that right in the dead center of the plate of a delicious succotash. So do a cream succotash, your lima beans and your corn and your okra. And then you put a big old ring mold of collard greens with some bacon and some ham hock. And then do a pecan maple crusted double butterfly of rainbow trout with like a pickled, preserved lemon verbena, topper. Fresh herbs, maybe a preserved lemon with a little bit of mint, anything. The Southern food, good flavors can be elevated anywhere in presentation, put it that way. So Southern food has a lot of that. So it's just a matter of your mindset and how far you can dream.
Okay. So when it comes to food, is Indian food your favorite food to eat, consume, or is it your favorite food to cook?
If the way I answer this question is, I feel a very strong analytical way of answering this question. The better question is, if you could have a restaurant right next to your house that was invisible, that you could never see, that you could just walk into and magically get this certain ethnicity of food or type of food, and you just could get it anytime, 1000% would be Indian food. Nothing even close. Like, you eat authentic Chinese, you're like, man, this is the best food on the planet. But then you eat Indian food, you're like, hold my beer, or pijo in Chinese, hold my pijo and watch this. Because Indian food, dude, I could eat a sambar in Italy every single day for breakfast and be the happiest person on the planet, which is it's like a lentil stew with these little lentil white fluffy pillow things that you dip and you eat with your hands. And I love eating with my hands because I'm a dang alpha male primal beast. So eating with your hands, you're able to feel the food, which makes you salivate more, makes the food taste better. Because whenever you're using a fork, I tell people this, you're taking away one of your senses. You can smell it, you can taste it, you can see it, but then you get this piece of metal in your mouth. It throws the whole process up. When you pick up something with your hand, it tastes better. Before I went to India, I used to do a steak dinner where I do these butter-crusted filet mignons and mashed potatoes, and I would literally, and you don't burn your mouth. If something's too hot for your touch, you can't enter your mouth. So if it's too hot, you're not going to put it in your mouth, so then you never burn your mouth. Indians don't drink 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after eating, so they salivate and everything digests better. But if
30
you
minutes before or after they don't eat?
30 before or after.
Okay.
If you pick this steak up, though, with your hand and you bite into it, the flavor of that steak is going to be substantial compared to having a fork and knife and eating it. Big difference.
I'm going to have to try that now.
Try it. I swear to God, it'll blow your dang mind.
I never even thought about that. When I start like eating with my hands, I'm like, man, it does taste a little bit better when you have the little scraps on your plate.
Yeah, what do you think about like snack food? What are you doing? Why do you think snack food is that you're using your hands? You're putting it in your mouth. You M&Ms. You're putting them M&Ms in your mouth. You're eating them Reese's. You're eating that popcorn. You're eating them chips. The hell are we doing right there? But then whenever it's real fucking food, whenever it's real food that you cook, you can't pick it up with your hands. How ass backwards is that? That doesn't make a lick of sense. It's like, oh, sir, the audacity of you wanting to pick up this piece of food that you respect because you're holding it with your hands. Like, these potato chips, sir, you're good with the potato chips, the Cheetos, the Ho-Hos, the Twinkies.
Even fries.
Yeah, French fries. Think about it.
Fries, you can pick it up. Pizza, all of those foods taste fantastic.
What is the biggest food on the planet? What is the biggest foods on the planet? Hamburgers, pizza, things like that. Chicken fingers, fried chicken. Why is fried chicken so good? Your fingers are finger licking good. Think about it, okay? You're like full circle here. Full circle. God almighty. I never thought about this. Noah's on to something.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, the Indians have been on it for 3,000 years. They've been wheelhousing that your hand makes things taste better. Plus, it's the salts that you produce that things taste better. You season your food because of the salt in your pores. So you're actually seasoning your food.
Never even thought about it in that aspect of things.
Absolutely. God is so cool, man. God is so cool. God just throws dadgum wiffle balls in a wind tunnel, and he's like, all right, you think
and then we just go and mess it up.
How about that?
Then we just go and mess it up and give ourselves a fork.
Correct.
So after India, COVID hit. How did you adjust to being a personal chef during COVID? How did you?
So what I thought was I met this incredible woman named Raquel Martins Vasconcelos, who then became my wife. And like,
congratulations,
thank you. And she moved down to from Boston to Georgia with me. So did catering, social distancing, just mask everywhere. Try to be really smart. If I've not gotten it, taken multiple tests, been very smart. Traveled to places, again, trying to be very smart, always cautious, social distancing.
Okay, so did it slow down business?
It's destroyed my business, but I look at it as an optimistic way, not a pessimistic way. Just absolutely, just completely ripped it apart. Clients canceled. My December, I had 8 jobs. Every one of them canceled. So I lost like $8,000 to $13,000 in the month of December.
Yeah.
So
that's how it kind of was for me. I started off in the restaurant where I worked at Sofitel, Chicago. Now I couldn't find a job because it's super hard, especially to find a restaurant job in Chicago because it's restricted. They're closing everything down, no matter what it is. They keep reopening, closing because it was super hard to find a conventional cooking job. So I've always wanted to just interview chefs on different aspects of their life. So I thought this would be a creative way to talk to you guys. I seen you on Clubhouse. That's how I got your information. So I was like, I talked to Sherry. She's interested in also doing an interview with me. So I just wanted to open people's minds to more. I feel like chefs are so creative and have a lot more to say than just food. We are. Oh
yeah, I'm not just this guy that's just so. Like I said, I use food for a vessel of making people happy and spreading love. I am not 100%. If I was 100% committed to food and I was at the skill level that I was at, I would be ashamed of myself. I'm not 100% committed to food. I am not 100% committed to the craft. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I need to do in this world. I might become a preacher still. I just have a real natural talent to be able to cook an exceptional amount of food very, very well and stay humble in it, where I don't have to have all these badges and titles and labels and all this other stuff. I really work through the process of always trying to better myself, always trying to learn, always taking every cook as an opportunity to improve myself. But I'm not 100% focused on food. Within the next month or so, I am going to be 100% focused on food, where I'm trying to build my empire up. But for the most part, like I said, it's just, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just cooking, trying to improve, and that's it.
So what does the future hold for Noah Sims, and the next, for 2021?
Super huge TV show. A big TV show this year. Me being able to raise a couple $1 million for the restaurant business with a challenge that I'm coming up with that I launched last week that you'll be seeing more about.
Okay.
Future, become a better husband, become a better man. Just moving and grooving always, man. I'm trying to move with purpose. Every single step needs to have a journey to it. So,
yeah, I understand that. Oh, well, I just wanted to thank you for joining me and taking the time out your probably busy schedule to, come out here. Wait, one more question. Sorry.
Hit me with it.
Instagram. I see that you're very, very much so on social media. Is it like a whole production crew with you, or is it just you, a camera, and you just sit
me and camera and trying to make things happen? I have my buddy Zach come up, who's a world-class photographer. He's going to be coming back up to 6, but pretty much it's me. I'm just trying to do the best I can. I'm god awful at
pictures and everything.
The what?
I said the pictures and everything is all just straight you off a phone, or
straight me off an iPhone, except if I give credit to Zach, which I put on my post that Zach took this picture. But everything else is just me.
Okay, because I always had the thought process that it had to be like you had to have the ring light, the camera.
No, Gary V always said that people that make excuses never take off because they just keep reinventing the checklist. So for me, I was guilty of that. I mean, like today, I'm going to need this, and then once I get this, then I'll get that, and then it's one of those things like someone drops off lumber and gives you a hammer and nails, and you're like, well, if I had a nail gun, I could build this house faster. It's like, yeah, but you don't. So swing the damn hammer and start freaking building, you idiot. That's how I had to talk to myself. Like, swing the hammer, you idiot. Just pick up the damn hammer, stop making excuses, and hit the damn nail. Like, who gives a shit that you don't have a nail gun? Yeah, some people have nail guns. Some people have giant crews to be able to build their house of social media empire. But me, I have a ball peen hammer and some nails. So it is what you make it. I mean, it's just like the entrepreneurs of the 80s and the 90s. It's like Michael Dell and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all these guys. Those guys were like, wait 1 minute. Let me see if I can do this. But no, they're like, well, this is the best I got. Like, this is the best I have right now. I think this is better than anyone else's personal computer. I could wait a little longer and make it a little bit better, or I can launch this, and then I can make other models where I can improve on it. And then I can just build a whole brand on that. So your first thing doesn't have to be perfect. And everyone's always like, and I was so guilty of that, where I was like scared of, oh God, what's happening? I'm launching my TikTok now. I got a couple videos to post. They're ridiculous as hell. I mean, I'm throwing tomahawks in one of them. But it is what it is. One of the things is like, fear is good if you have focused fear. If it's just all over the place, you can't move forward because you don't know where's safe or not.
Yeah, that's how I kind of was with it. Like today, I was kind of nervous to talk to you because I was like, this is my, you're also my first interview, by the way. So thank you for joining me.
You don't seem like this ain't your first rodeo.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I was always making excuses like I need a computer, I need a ring light. I was just like, well, I have a computer. Zoom is available. Let me start actually getting out here and talking to these chefs and try to open a little, because I don't want to just focus on food. I want to focus on health and wellness.
The only thing that you have to improve is your angle sucks.
My angles. Okay.
Your angles is terrible. I tell that to everybody. One of my good buddy Max was doing that. I was like, listen, man, I'm all about conversation. I'm all about people to people. My gift on this planet is people to people reading, like profiling. I should have been an FBI profiler after watching this show with my wife, Criminal Minds. I'm like, this is me. Like, I'm figuring these things out every time before they get like halfway in it. As soon as I see the perp, I'm like, or the F sub is what they call. It's like, that's him. Like, they're reading people. That's like better than cooking, better than anything else. Memory of names and important dates. I'm great at that. But like, being able to read people is exceptionally well. And body language and subliminal like tics and stuff mess with me. So whenever you're doing an interview, like this camera is straight up with me. It's not up, it's not down, it's literally straight on me. Okay. So like if I lowered it, now I'm like talking down to you. But then if I like do this is weird. So having it dead center where you and me are looking straight at each other is a thing that is not like, and I know you're not doing this at all on purpose, but it's like a talking down to thing. If you have your camera angle, which everyone has their laptops and the angles doing this, if you have your camera angle straight on, it just makes I feel like a little bit better dialogue, like a literal real interview.
This kind of like
that is better. That is better than when it's sitting here while you're doing this. Like, all right, so hi, I'm God. How are you today? Let me talk down to you today. Are you good down there? Good. All right, so today, little boy, we're going to talk about some shit.
All right. Thank you for that insight. It does. I see what you're talking about. It does give a better like span of you. Thank you. I actually appreciate that a lot.
That's the only thing you did wrong is your angle sucked and it was terrible. Other than that, everything else was perfect. Your first two questions were about 3 seconds too quick. You needed to slow it down just a smidge. Other than that, though, it was great. Outstanding interview.
I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving me your insight on things. I appreciate everything that you gave me. I will take everything that you gave me. And actually, the finger thing, I'm going to actually test everything that you gave me out. Thank you, Noah, for showing time. And I'll talk to you. I'll definitely DM you. We can conversate.
Absolutely, man. We'll have a wonderful, blessed day. I appreciate you. If I can ever help you, just let me know.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. See you, buddy.
See you.
Really, it's up now. Now we popping bottles like the Super Bowl, just touchdown. I just wish that you was with me. I lost a few brothers and now I'm empty. Yeah. So